Ketchup. Hey everyone. Hi. Welcome to another podcast of Lunch Break with ATI. My name is Cynthia Collins. I am one of the co-founders of Actors Theater of Indiana, the resident professional theater company at the Center for the Performing Arts in Carmel, Indiana, US of A. And today our guest is Kristin Kepler, and Kristin is, she's awesome, but she is, what is your official title with ATI?
Bookkeeper, accountant, something along those
Bookkeeper
lines.
slash accountant slash keeping everyone in line slash what are you spending that money on, and et cetera, et cetera. So Kristin came in like with all the turnover with the company. Like, ATI's had a turnover which is really wonderful. And I mean, not to say that like other people weren't great, of course. I was in the older group of ATI, and but Kristin is pretty new. I don't know. I mean, I'd say you kind of came in with when Kathy was here, and you started to help her, and then you took over.
Correct.
So Kathy retired, Kristin took over, and so it was a nice transition of passing the baton, so to speak. And so she got to know the ins and outs, before you actually officially were like, give me the receipts. Right?
Correct.
Yeah. So all right. So all that yada yada yada, but are you from here originally, Indiana?
I am from Indiana.
So you're a native Hoosier.
I am.
Yeah. Whereabouts?
DeMont, Indiana. It's a small town up in northwest Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What brought you down here? Do you live in Carmel?
I do live in Carmel.
Okay.
I graduated from IU
Okay.
and then got married and went to a different state, but then came back to raise our kids here closer to family.
To your family. That's what I hear from a good amount of people. What's the other state? Where were you?
Alabama.
Oh God. What were you doing down there?
My husband at the time was
Oh my
got
God.
a job there.
Yeah, work, right?
Yeah,
Work takes
so-
you where, you go where the work is, right?
Right, correct.
Yeah, what does he do?
He is in sales.
Okay.
So
What was he doing? What sales down there? And
It
how was
was-
that down there? Were you like, did you have kids yet?
we did not have kids. He is in water treatment sales. So one of his customers at the time was the steel mill. So, which is a big industry in the South.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Steel mills have since, the industry has gone
Yes.
a different way.
Like a lot of-
But,
yeah.
but at that time, it was still really good. And so we were down there for 5+ years, and
Okay. And then you're like, okay, we're going
having
home.
kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you, when you came back up here, did you come right to Carmel when you came back up here?
We did
Oh.
because after I graduated from IU,
Right.
I worked downtown,
Yeah.
and through being at IU, I knew that Carmel was a good suburb to be in. So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah, it's
that was
nice.
our aim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice. And the school system's excellent.
Correct.
Excellent.
Correct.
I mean, really fantastic.
Yeah.
I think they really prep these kids for college, like the public schools. Because usually, when you go to private schools, like private prep schools, are prepping you for college. I
Right.
think I think the high school does almost the same thing.
Yeah, it's tremendous.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
the course offerings and everything that you can have, and most of these kids, I feel like, go into college with credits already, and
They do,
know,
and they know more than other kids.
right,
Because the school system's so good.
definitely,
That's what I see. It's absolutely, it's true. That's why I say it's almost like the public school is almost like a private prep school, but it's not. It's public, which is wonderful.
right.
But how old are your kids?
I have a 22, well, soon to be 23-year-old,
Yeah.
a 21-year-old, and a 17-year-old.
So 17-year-old still in high school?
Still at Carmel.
At Carmel. Yeah. Where are they going? IU?
I think that's the general.
Is the
consensus
jury
at
out?
that
Is the jury
point.
out on that one?
But I mean, no definitive
Right.
decisions have been made.
Right.
So-
Well, where did the other two go? What did the other two do?
IU.
Okay. What? So did your husband go to IU, or did you meet him? How'd you
No.
meet him?
He went to Wabash.
Okay. Well, that's a good school.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a nice small,
Liberal arts.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I know a few kids that went there and are loving it and loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, how did you meet then? Your husband? How did you meet the Wabash guy?
We were
and an
set
IU
up.
chick? God, sometimes that's not great, but I mean that's always dicey. It's always dicey, right? Especially for the person doing it. If it doesn't work out,
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah, right. Oh my God. So was it? It wasn't a blind. Well, it was kind of like a blind
Yeah,
date.
it was a complete blind date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you out of school?
I was not. He
Okay.
was.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you think? Obviously, when you first met him.
Not my type.
God. What do you think? He probably was like, "Hi, she's my type," and you were like, "Yeah, I don't think so." But then,
Yeah, he pursued, so I guess that's
oh, okay, there you have it. Right, he wore you down. No, I'm sure. My God, I've never met him. I've never met him. I'm sure he's a great guy. If he's with you, he's got to be a good guy. You know what I mean? Because you're not going to suffer any fools.
Right.
So your other two kids went to IU. Well, you think this one probably,
Mm-hmm.
but they've probably applied other places too. I'm sure.
He has not yet, but he's a junior. So it's not.
It's going to be soon.
It's
though.
going to be soon.
It's going to be
Correct,
soon.
Correct.
Because they're like apply. You have to get this in, and then
Right.
if you don't, it's oh my gosh, it's like filling out grants for them, applying for stuff and doing everything. It's a
Right.
lot.
No, it is. It is. It's a lot.
We went through it, but we had somebody helping us, a college advisor. Thank God. Because I was like, I can't do. I was like, I can't do this. I can't handle this. This is way too much. Because when we went to school, God, it seemed so much easier.
It did.
I just filled out my applications. This is what I did. You fill out your application. You write an essay. Boom.
Which you would think nowadays it would be easier because of technology,
There's
right?
more to do. But
I
there's
know.
more to do. They ask for more, and there's way more paperwork.
And there's more competition.
Yes. That's
so
true.
I think that lends
Yes.
to the fact that
Absolutely.
somehow you have to stick out more so than other people.
You
right?
do. And especially then, of course, if you're also applying for, like the FAFSA, like we do, that. It's a whole other kettle of fish right there to do that.
Definitely.
But that's great. Your two kids, obviously they liked it. They liked it. I mean, the campus is fantastic.
Beautiful
Lizzie,
campus.
our kid's going there, and she really likes it. She just finished her freshman year. So, and it's lovely there.
It
I mean,
is.
you probably know it like the back of your hand because you went there and then two of your kids.
Right. Yeah.
You know? So I'm sure that third one, watch, the third one will be a rogue.
I don't know.
He'll
We'll
be the
see.
rebel. I'm not going. But no, that's nice. And also to have, his mom go there, his two siblings,
Right.
and he probably gets great grades. I mean, your kids you're so smart. I'm sure they're smart kids. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you're very, I'm sure you've raised them to do their work, to be responsible.
You
know what I
try
mean?
as a parent, but they all have their personalities.
Yeah,
so.
they do. But you find out you don't think they're listening,
Oh.
and
yeah.
then you're like, oh, they did listen to me
Right.
one time. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
then you see it, how they act with other people, what they're doing. You're like, oh, I guess something sunk in,
Right.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Of all the, telling them, doing what you should do, be careful, right? You don't want to tell them too much. We that's what we try to do. We're like, okay, but they got to find their own way too.
Definitely.
They got to find their own path. Otherwise you don't want to smother them too much. That's the balance, I think.
Sometimes it's a hard balance.
Yeah, it is tough.
Especially this day and age.
Because
I
you
feel
want to be like, do this, do that. Like I'm Chris. I'm like, now make sure. And you got to, did you do that?
Right.
And then at one point you just got to be like, you know what? Okay. Just lay off and.
Right. Then you feel like you're doing more work than what they are.
Yeah. And they'll learn. We all kind of learn by mistakes sometimes.
Consequences are always good.
Right. So then how did you get did you go to school for, obviously you're excellent with numbers, you have to be. Were you like an accountant? Like, did you fall into it? or did you major in it? What happened there?
I majored in it, not necessarily because I wanted to do it, but it was more okay, I'm going to IU, School of Business. What's the best degree I could come out with? And I mean, other people would obviously have a different opinion on what the best one. But for me, as far as getting a business perspective, I felt like accounting was probably a good fit. So,
oh, my God. Then you got your first adding machine. You were like, oh, look, for Christmas. No,
so exciting.
The old...
Well, and back then it had a tape, you know?
Yeah, oh, right, yeah. That's right. In the spool, you had to put in the spool.
Right.
Whoo, yeah. And remember the old credit cards you put on the thing? And the carbon. We were just talking. I was just talking about those with somebody the other day. And you put the card in, and then they take it off, and the carbon, and you get your. My God, all that is. I'm trying to keep up. I'm like, wait a minute. I just got used to the chip, putting that in. Now they're like, touch it, scan it. I'm like, oh God, you know.
Right.
I'm like, from the slide to the chip to just the touch. Anyway, soon it's going to be like on our thumb. We're just going to be like, here's my credit card, here's my debit, or something.
Yeah.
You know, frightening like that. They're like, we can put your debit in your palm or in your eye.
Kind of scary, isn't it?
You know? Yeah, it's frightening to me. But I'm still like writing checks. You know, I still write checks, pay the bills with checks and stuff. I know. I still do that. I can't, I'll never get away from that.
Yeah.
I'll never stop doing that. So, where you were raised, and do you have any siblings?
I do.
Yeah. How many in the family?
2 older brothers.
Okay. Oh God. So you're the youngest girl.
I'm the youngest girl.
Oh boy. Were you a little spoiled, or no?
No, I wouldn't say I was.
Yeah.
I just think though, being a girl is different. You know, obviously than having 2 brothers.
Yep.
They, you know, boys are different as teenagers, so actually it probably made it easier for me.
Well, you're also the third.
Exactly.
So parents, by time, they're like, yeah, okay, well, the first one, they're like, be home. The third one, they're like, yeah, okay, listen, just call us.
Right.
Just tell us where you are. It's like the parents get tired. Me, 5, and I'm the 5th.
Oh,
my parents
so
were like, all right, we'll see you later. You're leaving. Just call us. Yeah. So they get a little less, you know, strict, I guess, right?
Right.
Because the older ones they pave the way.
Correct.
Almost,
yeah.
you know, for
They
you. Oh my God. What's it like up there, tiny town? What'd you guys do? I mean, growing up, you know, it's like, we used to go to the drive-in movies, or we used to, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. They don't have those anymore, really, drive-ins. Though I think they're so super cool.
They are.
I loved going as a kid. But, like, what was the big thing to do? In the summer, usually, like, you know, in the summertime.
It was literally to cruise, what we called cruising. Oh my God. So there's only one road that goes through our town.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And there were places that...
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, that people would, you know, kind of meet or... Yeah, that's how you... Well, back then we didn't have phones, cell phones.
Oh,
right.
No.
So, you know, you had to call people.
No, you're like, pick me up, we're going. That's it.
You met them out.
That's it. Done.
So that's what we would do is cruise, see who's out. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Very exciting, Cindy.
Wow. This is like American Graffiti, you know? Cruising in the hot rods up and down, picking up the chicks, seeing what guys are out. My God. Well, everybody kind of did that. My friends and I would go out every weekend, you know? We just go out. I was in New Jersey more, you know, we could go out to the clubs. Right. You know, that's what we do. We go clubbing. And I was in high school.
Wow.
And they'd let us in because we were 5 or 6 chicks, you know. And they were like, the bouncers were like, okay, you know, sure. Because we were girls and they let girls in. And this was in the 80s, so that probably wouldn't happen now.
So how old would you have to be in
21.
Oh,
and
gosh.
We were 17 or 18. We were in high school, you know.
Okay.
So we all had our fake IDs, telling this now. That we went into the city, got our fake IDs, and would go clubbing. But I'll tell you how unbelievably responsible we were. It's almost unbelievable.
Okay.
Because like there would be 5 or 6 of us.
Yeah.
Not every weekend, but Well, and we all worked. We all had our own money, and we'd be like, okay, who's the designated driver this weekend? I couldn't believe we had the sense to do this. And that person could not drink that night. You could not.
Right.
And you would drive. And all of us would fit into one car. A few of my friends had those old Thunderbirds, the long Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Two or three of them owned these. They must have been the car to have then. And we would all fit into that car. And I'm telling you,
it worked.
if you were the person, you could not drink. We all were. We all had to take turns.
Yeah.
We still had a great time,
Right.
but you couldn't. And we were always, I don't know, we always made it home. All of us always got home, or we'd stay over.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be calling home, staying over. My mother would be waiting up for me. But that's what I say about the fifth one. My parents were like, look, have a good time, but if anything happens, you call us, we'll come get you. That was their rule. And I was like, okay,
Yep.
absolutely. So you'd have to use, like, no cell phones, But I always told them where we were going. I always was up front.
Yeah.
And that's why they're like, okay, but you call. No one drives intoxicated. You call us, and we will come get you if anything happens. So, hopefully, luckily nothing did. So, but that cruising, oh God, that's funny. Then would you all go hang out on a corner or in a parking lot?
Yeah. Wherever. Or we decide to go someplace,
Yeah.
like, who was having a gathering or...
Yeah, right, of course.
Because back then, you
well-
didn't have texting, so...
But kids would have parties at their house, too.
Right.
Well, did you guys do that? I mean, we'd go over to somebody's
yeah.
house for parties
Yeah.
a lot. Dance and we'd just put on the records. This sounds so old, but and dance.
Yeah.
And hang out,
Times were different back then.
Yeah. I know, kids don't, I guess they don't, because they have all the phones. They have their phones. They have they play computer games. They have all that now. And it's more, I find it's more they're not going out, really. A lot more. A lot. This market, they'll get together and play a computer game.
Right.
Or something. I don't know, what did yours, what did your kids do then? And they had cell phones, so,
Yeah.
and all that.
I would say, they hung out... Carmel being so big, I feel like the groups aren't huge, because it's a big school, so there's a lot of tiny groups.
Yeah.
So, I think they just either, hung out kind of, at their friend's house or went to an athletic event or some event at the high school. Or, Of course, I probably didn't know half of what they were doing as a parent, right?
But that's,
there you go.
Sometimes
Ignorance
you
is
don't
bliss.
want to know everything, and you shouldn't, as long as they're being safe and responsible, and not getting in trouble.
Right.
They
Exactly.
the kids have to have their freedom, and I think that's
Definitely.
the way to do it. That's
Hey.
just my opinion. But,
I agree.
You can't, like you said, you can't smother them too much, or else then they'll really be like, I gotta get out of here,
Right.
Once your kid, you want to hang around with you. Like your kids, when they come home, well, now they're done. They're out of the house. The older two,
Right.
are they?
So, the one is coming back from college still, so he just returned from college.
And when he comes home, is it nice?
Yeah.
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 What do you have? Wait, what do you have? 3? Do you have a girl?
I have a girl's the oldest.
Oh, so just the opposite of your family.
Correct.
Oh gosh, just the opposite of the way you grew up. Is
Yeah.
she very responsible? Is she like you? She's probably your
Yes.
clone.
She's very responsible.
She's probably like,
So, in the case where I had 2 other brothers leading the way,
yeah.
she is a girl and the first, so she's a typical first child. So,
Yep, very
my
responsible.
expectations then were probably higher than maybe on the second one and the third one.
Right.
And of course, they're boys.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
so that's where you
Well,
have
girls
to
mature faster. They
Right.
grow up faster. And boys don't.
definitely.
Yeah. Oh, I can see it. She's probably just like you. I mean, that happens a lot. No, I know so many women and the daughter, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're your clone, I mean, they look like the person, they act like they're like, I see that so much with a mother-daughter, more so than it's funny, than with a father or son.
Right.
I don't know why. I just see that more, But no, it happens both ways, obviously, you
Right.
know. But so that's good. How long? So you've been in Carmel a pretty long time. You've seen all the
Over
changes
20,
here.
yeah,
You've
20
seen
some
all the
years.
changes here and all the growth and everything. And have you
Yeah.
always been in the same neighborhood, same house?
Yes.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
nice. If you were to move, where would you go? Do you ever think about retiring and where are we going to go? We're going to downsize. You know?
I would consider the South.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More near the ocean, near the water.
Maybe. I mean, that would be nice. I don't know if I
That's
could
nice,
afford
right?
that, but
Yeah, that's nice,
yeah,
right?
that would be a nice thought.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
What is your now you obviously you work at ATI, but you're a manager of an office, correct?
Yes.
Where are you? Where's your other job?
Richard J. Carriger Company.
Mm-hmm.
He's a custom builder here in Carmel.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Homes, custom built homes.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's nice. Are you gonna have him build a house?
Okay. That would be nice.
Right? You're like, listen,
Can I cut a deal?
I totally manage your office. Do you think that's pretty cool? Wow.
No, they're great people
So
to
he
work for.
just does like one lot, custom homes. Does he ever do a neighborhood? Does he ever do anything like that?
He has been in Camden Walk.
Okay.
And so in the beginning, there were multiple homes that he was doing
Okay.
at a time. But now we're finishing up. So it's
Okay.
the last lot, actually. So if anybody
Wow.
still wants to get in Camden Walk,
Wow.
there's one spec house left that he's building.
Oh, he
and-
built a spec house. Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
go. That'll sell. Spec houses sell. My
Yeah.
brother used to do that. But they're all different, or does he have like a few different styles?
No, they're all different.
And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
That's great because you see all these. Sometimes you just see these cookie cutter
Yeah,
homes,
no.
and that's really nice.
Yeah,
That really makes a neighborhood kind of neat.
yeah.
You know,
Gives a uniqueness.
it really does. You know, and if they're built well, you know they have good bones. You know they're gonna last.
Oh, definitely a well-built house.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine because some of these people just throwing up home, boom, 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 hurry up, get it up, boom, 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 boom. You know, and they're just not, they're not built well at all. You know, and I've seen it. You know,
yeah.
so that's nice. That's nice nowadays
It
to know
is.
that and to have that. Okay, we have to wrap it up. We have to wrap this up with Kristin Kepler. So thank you.
You're welcome.
You're great. Thanks for all the work you do here and with your 3 wonderful children.
Well, and thank you for, you guys have been great to work with. So it's been a fun experience getting to know
sure.
the industry. And
Yes, it's different. It's different.
It's way different than anything I've
Very,
ever
very
done.
different when people start working for a theater company and in the position you're in or other positions that are more business positions.
Right.
It's very, very different. I remember you were like, what's this contract? Why is this different? What's with this contract? Why is that contract different? And I'm like, oh, God. And I'm like, because you and I don't work together a lot because I've backed away.
Right.
So you're really working with Judy Moore and Brian and Meg,
Correct.
you know. But even I remember when you first got here, you were like, well, now why is this? And I'm like, oh, God, I know. I'm like, yeah.
You were probably like, oh
I
my
was
goodness,
like,
this
oh,
financial person
oh
I have
my-
to deal with.
No, because it's very important, of course. My God, it's so important because, you know, like it or not, nothing runs without money. Nothing.
Correct.
And it is really all about, I hate to say it, it really is all about the money. It really is. Because you really can't do anything without it. It's not a barter system anymore.
Unfortunately.
I'll give you a cow for a bag of wheat. So, so those days are gone, long gone. So anyway, all right. Well, thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
And lunch break with ATI, Kristin Kepler. She's incredible. Thank you so much again for being with ATI. What's coming up? Well, the next thing ATI has coming up is the next season, 2024-25 season, but season subscriptions are on sale. You can call the box office at 317-843-3800 or just go to the website, atistage.org, and you can check out the new season. Ring of Fire, She Loves Me, Who Done It, and 9 to 5. Those are the 4 main stage shows, plus a whole bunch of other things that they have going on in between all of that, which I cannot rattle off all that, but it's really going to be, I think, a really successful and exciting season. I think everybody's really jazzed about it. So thank you so much for joining us. Lunch Break with ATI. I'm Cindy Collins. Kristin Kepler, and we'll see you next week, and we'll see who will be sitting here beside me. It's always a surprise. Bye.